And this is an interesting way to start, as our first crew of the day, coming into the boat ramp. Well, they're coming in under their own power, but not the way you would imagine with the engine started. I've never even thought about keeping a paddle on a jet ski, but after seeing this, I think all my jet skis are getting paddles. But welcome back, crew, to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Ramps channel. I'm your host, Broncos Guru, and today we are down here visiting Boynton Beach. And I wonder how far he's been paddling for. Like, did they come all the way from Beer Can Island like this? Because that would be crazy. It's pretty shallow right around the backside here, so I mean, I would have probably walked it along. But this one, I mean, that's nuts on how far they might have possibly even paddled this one. But let me know in the comments, would you have done this? Or would you have just jumped in and swam it over, like kicking with your feet or something? I'm not 100% sure. This one's just wild to look at. And it probably is no easier with two people on board, but I mean, hopefully they at least took turns, right? I mean, like, maybe this buddy on the back wound up paddling for a little bit at one point. My guy's doing pretty solid, though, trying to get it over to the dock. His buddy's starting to go for the reach. You can do it, man. Eye of the tiger. Gotta love it. And he's got it. They're on, but man, that is a wild start. Probably one of the more difficult ways I've seen somebody get to the ramp, and I guess because the real question is how far were they paddling from? So Beer Can Island, if you're not familiar with Boynton, is a sandbar that's kind of back behind the boat ramp, but I bet it's still over a mile to get there. And I mean, I'm imagining that's where they came from. And that's one heck of a paddle. I just hope when they got to the sandbar behind here, they were smart enough that they just walked it along and we just had to paddle the last deep part here through the boat ramp. But here we go. They're going to grab a truck and get this one pulled out. But a quick start down here and a rough start for this crew. But let's see how the rest of our captains do today as they come in and try and land on the docks. So here comes our next crew in on approach, and we got our guy standing in the bow. Hopefully he's kind of hanging on because a little throttle action here, my man will be taking a swim. So, oh no, he's going for it all, baby. He's up on the gunnel, jumps off for the leap, makes it, even gets the push off on the end. And we've got our young lady here on the backside trying to get that stern line set up. So, Cap's going to leave the helm now as they're trying to get the stern line rolling, and he's going to have to go for a step off as well. No fenders, so they're doing the dance where they're trying to keep it off the dock, but bring it on the dock without the boat touching the dock. I mean, a fender would probably be significantly easier. But they'll tie it off and let it ride from right here. So our crew here lands on the dock, going for the stretch, trying to keep it on. Again, no line in hand, at least I don't see one. And then here comes our next crew on approach. So it looks like we got two lines on the ready, one on the bow, one on the stern, a little bit prepared. Stern starts to kick out as they approach the dock. And Cat, I mean, he's going way up on it. And backs in with the slight step off, and there we go. This crew's on as well. One of those days where we got some pros down here at the ramp today. Not been crazy other than our guy paddling so far. Everybody's landing pretty solid. And my man's coming in quick, coming in hot down here, gonna have to brake check it out. She jumps off, and both of them are off. And again, another one that lands pretty solid that looked like it was gonna go a little rough, as I felt like they were coming in a little hot on the dock, but overall gets it on. And here we go, standing on the stern of the boat while underway. Never really recommended. So, Cap's kind of just slow drifting in. Is she holding a plate of food on top of this as well? So it looks like she's got a plate of food in her hand, standing on the stern of the boat, trying to get off onto the dock. Is she gonna go for it? I mean, they're drifting off now. Cap's still trying to get a line over there around a cleat so we can pull the boat back over. There we go, he gets it on, starts to pull it over. I think he just fired the motors up as well, and there we go, turns it in. But yes, she was holding the food, not a line. Waiting to get off. And our crew here coming in a little off on the angle. Are we finally going to get a little action down here at Boynton today? It looks like it, as they're coming in a little sideways. Cap tries to brake check it out, but now that's not going to work out in his favor because he doesn't. The concrete piling right there has a big metal bar around it with sharp edges. You don't want to be in that. And I got a feeling that's exactly where they're heading. They are. So they're trying to push off the piling. Cap's trying to get the boat to come around, and it's just not wanting to do it for him. And there we go. We get somebody off with a bow line to bring it around. And finally, we get a little action down here at Boynton. Nothing too crazy still, but man, you figured they would have at least used round metal versus the squared off metal you see on the end of that piling. If you see the metal bars going around it, it's not rounded. It's squared off, meaning if you hit that, you're pretty much doing some damage, at least on the rounded part. It might not have been so bad, but here, man, you have to avoid that piling at all costs, or you're going to wind up paying the price. And that price is usually going to be fiberglass or aluminum, depending on what kind of boat you're on. So, next crew coming in as well. Kind of a slower day down here at Boynton even. Not a lot of craziness going on. So Cap's got the motor turned to try and get that bow around. And she goes for the easy step off. And again, should be good, as they're going to go ahead and get their stern line ready to roll. And Cap leaves the helm, goes for the stretch to try and bring it over. And with two lines on, this should be good to go. And speaking of good to go, we're going to go ahead and get out of here as well. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, do some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we got Boats vs. Haulover. Man and machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.